Movie story recaps here. The movie starts with a scene where we can an injured man who was trying to hide in the palace from someone because someone had stabbed him with an arrow. In the palace, there were many LaBelle's posters and there was dark in the whole place which was giving it a horror look. These two kids were also hiding from someone, they were brothers. The younger one name was Alex. Alex's brother hides him in the cupboard and then suddenly that man asks for help from Alex's brother. Instead of helping him, Alex's brother shouted and called for his family members, all of them comes there who were wearing strange masks, they take that man with him and kills him badly. One of the lady there was shouting to save that man. Then we can see a scene after 30 years where we can see a girl named Grace who was getting married to Alex and she is the main character of the movie. Alex was the same boy whom we saw at the start of the movie and he was a young man now. He belonged to a very rich family while Grace was grown in an orphanage. Both of them loved each other a lot, but in the incident that took place 30 years ago, Alex had left his family and used to live alone. Before their marriage, Alex's brother warns Grace for the last time and asks her not to get married here as their family was very strange and not good and that she should get away from them. He tells her that our family members are very strange and are very different from other people. Grace ignores him by saying that she loves him and wants to live her life with him. Alex's father disliked Grace as she was grown in an orphanage, but he was satisfied with the marriage as Ale had come home after the marriage. Alex's whole family was thinking that Grace was marrying Alex only for the money. On the other hand, Grace had no idea how much this family was mysterious leading to the marriage of Alex and Grace. When at home Grace and Alex were in their room, Alex's aunt was watching them from a secret door. Grace gets frightened after seeing her watching them. Alex's aunt tells her that everyone was waiting for her. She leaves after telling her this. Alex tells Grace that every time when someone new comes into this house, they have to play a game with the family at 12 a.m. where you have to choose a card to play the game written on that. He tells her that his family has earned a lot of money by playing these games and after that, it became a tradition of their family. Grace gets very awkward after listening about this game, she asks him if it was necessary for her to win. But he tells her that it's not necessary for her to win, but only her participation was necessary. When Alex comes downstairs, Alex's father asks him what he told Grace about the game on this. He says that he didn't tell the secret of the game yet and he will never and that he rather will take Grace in the morning from here. Then Grace comes downstairs, Alex's mother talks to her, after which she feels satisfaction and good because she had spent her whole life in an orphanage and alone and now she had a family. There only Alex's mother used to like Grace and none else. Meanwhile, Alex's sister also comes there with her husband and kids. Then they take Grace to a room which was only for the family and none else was allowed to go in that room. Everything single thing in that room was very strange and creepy because there were many types of weapons there. Grace gets very shocked after seeing all of this, she also sees a photo of a man there. Alex's father tells her that he was his father and he also tells her about his family history and about the game. He tells her that his father used to love playing cards and he also used to own a shop. One day he met a guy named LaBelle, where both of them played cards for many hours and at last his father won the game and LaBelle as a gift gave a secret box to his father and told him that his future generations can get very rich by this game. Only thing they have to do is to play the game and complete it. He tells her that after that his father made a sports equipment and now he had a whole sports team, so every time a new member comes to this house, has to play a gem through this box. The game they have to play will be told by LaBelle. Grace picks up the box and takes a card out of it. The game she got was hide and seek. After seeing her card the family gets quiet. While smiling, Grace asks were they really going to play this game. Alex's father asks Grace to hide and all of the family members will find her. Grace wasn't feeling good about this game and she was finding all this weird, but she had no idea about how mysterious this game was and that this game was not ordinary. Then all of the doors and cameras get turned off because they were following all of the rules of LaBelle. A piece of music was turned on and all of the family members take their weapons and gets ready. All of them were following LaBelle's rules. Then the game starts according to the tradition. Alex did not want to participate in this game, so he goes to a room and sits there. Alex's sister-in-law stays there to keep an eye on him. Grace goes and hides there. On the other side the whole family starts to find her. When Alex's sister-in-law goes into the room to talk to Alex, she sees that Alex has left the secret door. Grace comes out of the lift as she was getting bored in there, but then Alex comes there and takes Grace into a room and both of their hides there, but suddenly their maid wakes up from their footsteps. She was taking care of Alex's nephew, she sees that one of the kids was not in his bed, so after hearing footsteps, she thinks it was the kid. So she goes to check on him and comes to the same room where Alex and Grace were hiding, but suddenly Alex's sister comes there and shoots her. Bullet goes directly into her eyes, after which her eyeball comes out and she dies. Grace gets very scared after seeing this. All of the other members also come there and start to discuss where to hide her dead body, or if Grace will see this she will get to know about the reality of their family, but they didn't know Grace was hiding in the same room with Alex and that she had understood everything. Alex's brother asks his aunt if this blood would count, but she says that no, we only want the bride's blood, and if they will be unsuccessful in killing Grace during the night, LaBelle will kill them brutally in the morning. Grace had listened to all of this and understands that this family was trying to kill her. Alex tells Grace that they have to get out of here and that this was best for them. He also tells her that the card she chose was very dangerous. This was not a normal hide and seek game, but the whole family will have to find you, and if they will do that they will kill you, and that this family believes that if they will not kill you during this night, LaBelle will kill them in the morning. Then both of them make a plan of getting out. Alex says that he will open the door of the kitchen so that he could get out of there, but when she was going to the kitchen all of the family members see her and they all try to kill her, but she tricking them goes to the study room. But then Alex's brother comes there. Grace asks for help from him. There he says that he does not want to kill her as she was his brother's wife and he loves him a lot. He says that you have only 10 seconds to run from here. Here he breaks a rule, which was that if any one of them will see Grace they will call off the other members so that all of them could kill her. Grace runs from there. After 10 seconds Alex's brother calls his family. Here all of them get angry at him when he didn't kill Grace. Alex's father decides to find Grace with the help of the cameras, but then they see that Alex was in the camera's room and that he had opened all of the rooms. Then we can see that Grace was about to run out of there, but Alex's uncle comes there and tries to kill her, but she fights back and injures him and goes from there. Now Alex's father and brother come in by breaking the door and making him faint and tying him with handcuffs. Grace then again goes to hide in that lift, but one of their maids was already hiding there. She shouts and starts to call the other members, but then her head comes into the lift and she dies. Something gets revealed here. The woman we saw at the start of the movie who was shouting to help the man was none other than Alex's aunt, and that man was her husband who had been trapped in this game. Grace goes into the animals farm. There she sees Alex's nephew already there. She thinks that this kid has also been scared and is hiding there. She tries to talk to him, but he shoots Grace. That bullet gets into her hand. She gets angry and pouches the kid, after which he faints. She herself falls into the animals farm's basement. There she sees a lot of more dead bodies. It was of the people before who got trapped in that game. Grace comes out of that basement with a lot of difficulties, but then a nail gets into her hand. After which she gets more injured, but still she gets out of there and gets on the road. She asked for help there when a car was passing, but the car didn't stop. Grace runs into the jungle to save her life. She hides behind a big tree as Alex's uncle was following her. He also comes there, but Grace strangles him using a wire and goes away from there taking the car. She then turns on the operator and asks them to connect with the police, but the operator instructor instead of helping her cuts the line by saying that this car was stolen. Now Grace was trapped and helpless. But then suddenly Alex's uncle comes there and makes Grace faint. He puts Grace in the backseat and video calls Alex's father and tells him that he has caught Grace. He asks him to read the things to kill her. Grace then comes back to her senses and attacks him. This makes the car unbalance and the car crashes with a tree. Alex's uncle dies on spot, but luckily Grace was still alive. When Grace gets out of the car and was about to run, Alex's brother comes there. Grace once again asks for help from him, but this time he does not help her, but instead hits her and she faints. He did this because his father was watching him. Both of them take her to the palace. They then tied Grace and read some spells. They were doing a ritual, and all of them drank something. When Alex's father was about to hit Grace, all of them got vomited blood because Alex's brother had put something in their drinks. Getting the chance, Alex's brother opens Grace and helps her to get out of here, but then suddenly his wife comes there and shoots him. Grace gets very angry about this, and she hits his wife. She runs after hitting her. On the other hand, Alex had also come back to his senses, and he frees himself from the cuffs. When he comes outside of the room he sees that his brother was dead. Well, again Grace was trying to run. Alex's father comes there, but she attacks him with a lamp which causes him to set the fire there. Alex's mother comes and tries to kill her, and in anger, she says that Grace does not deserve them. This makes Grace very angry. Grace then gets the LaBelle's box and kills Alex's mother brutally and says that they do not deserve her. Alex also comes there and he sees how brutally Grace killed his mother. As a result, all the love for Grace vanishes from Alex's heart and he changes his behavior towards her. Now he himself takes her to his family. All of them cuffs her, and this time Alex himself was going to kill Grace. When he tries to hit her, she gets aside and she gets a scratch from the knife on her shoulder. She still does not loses her courage and stands up. His time she was very aggressive, but then they see that it was morning. All of them tries to hide after seeing this because they believe that they all will die now. Nothing happens like this, so they all get very shocked and also excited. And then they say no matter what happens they will kill Grace because she got to know the reality of their family. Alex's aunt picks up a weapon and tries to kill her, but before that she bursts and dies. This shows that everything they said was true, now LaBelle was killing all of them one by one. Every single one of them explodes. Alex's sister tries to get out taking her kids, but she also blasts. Alex's brother-in-law picks up LaBelle's box and says that he got no right to kill him so badly, as he always had followed his rules, but still he also blasts. Now only Alex and Grace were left, as Grace had gone through so much she didn't care about who was alive and who was dead. She was very happy seeing Alex's family die like this. Alex apologizes to Grace, but she does not forgive him and instead says that she needs a divorce. When she takes off the wedding ring and throws it at Alex, he also blasts. Then the fire spreads in the whole palace. LaBelle appears in the burning fire, which is referred to as telling Grace that she won, and now all of the property was of Grace because she was the widow of Alex. The movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more such videos.